Konnichiwa minasan. Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel, and this is the series called Japanese Lessons for Beginners. Today is lesson 87 of this series, in which we are going to learn about three counters: nin, dai, and biki. So, what are counters in Japanese? Counters are nothing but words to count something. So, what does that mean? In English, we say two pieces of chalks, for example. We don't say two chalks, isn't it? It doesn't it doesn't sound good, and it also doesn't make any sense. Two chalks. So two pieces of chalks. Then we have three mounds of garbage, say. We don't say three garbage or three garbages. No, that's not correct. So in these two examples, pieces and mounds, these are nothing but counters. So this is in English. In Japanese also there are counters in the same way, but the only difference is that in English not everything requires counters, but in Japanese every counting requires counters. So let's see some more examples. Four piles of sand. We don't say four sands, it's four piles of sand. Now five number of balls. In English, we can definitely say five balls. That is correct. So that means here the counter is not required. Likewise, six number of parrots, we can say six parrots. That is correct. We don't need a counter here. But in Japanese, every noun, if we want to say the quantity of something, a counter is mandatory. So there will be no counting without counter. So in Japanese, unlike English, every numeric quantity requires a counter. There are around 500 Japanese counters, out of which 350 are in popular use. So just imagine how many counters are there, and one has to remember the names of those counters. Otherwise, if we use some counter for something which is not intended to be, then it will be a grammatical error. So today we are going to learn three counters: nin, dai, and biki. So let's now go into that one by one. The first counter of today is nin. So as you can see, this is the kanji of human or a person. So we have used this kanji in a different sense, but today we will learn how it is used as a counter to count the number of people. So definitely this counter is used to count the number of persons or number of people. Let's say heya ni nannin imasu ka? In the last lesson we learned about heya. Heya means room. Heya ni nannin imasu ka? So can you guess what it could be? It's basically how many people are there in the room. Heya ni nannin. Nannin means how many people. Nan is the interrogatory word, you all know, and nin is for people, as we say counter. Imaska. So heya ni nannin imaska? How many people are there in the room? Heya ni sannin imas, or we can also say just sannin imas. That is, there are three people in the room, or there are three persons in the room. Sannin, three persons. Next is heya ni otoko no hito wa nannin desu ka? Otoko no hito means men, that is male persons. So how many men are there in the room? That means out of those three people, how many are men? Hitori desu or hitori imasu. That means one person. So we will see the complete table from 1 to 10 how we call out them. So for now, one person means hitori. It's not ichi nin. It's ichi definitely, it is nin definitely, but when we say them together, we say hitori, not ichi nin. There is one person. Likewise, heya ni onna no hito wa nannin desu ka? How many women are there in the room? Futari desu or futari. onna no hito wa imasu. There are two persons or there are two women. So here you can see this kanji is used twice, but the reading is different. Here it is hito, here it is nin. Heya ni otoko no hito wa nannin desu ka? So for in the first place, otoko no hito, otoko means male and hito means person. How many male persons? And the second kanji represents the counter, that is counter for persons. How many male persons are there in the room? So that's why the same kanji is used, but the reading is different. Now suppose we say, heya ni endojin no, heya ni indojin no otoko no hito wa nannin desu ka? So now see there are three kanjis. Indojin, that means Indian. Heya ni indojin no otoko no hito wa nannin desu ka? That means how many Indian men are there in the room? So here indojin, this is the reading will be jin and that will represent the citizenship or the nationality. That is how many Indian citizens or how many Indian men are there. So indojin is Indian and otoko no hito means men. So Indian men. Heani inside the room. So how many Indian men are there in the room? So to ask this question, we will use the same kanji thrice, but all with different readings. Hito, jin, and nin. Next is, let's now list down from 1 to 10. How do we call them out? So one person, hitori. Two persons or two people, futari. Three people, sannin. So this is the normal. So hitori and futari were exceptions. Sannin is the standard form. Yonin, it's again an exception because ideally it should have been yonin. So instead of yonin, we say yonin. So even if you say yonin, people will understand, but the correct reading is yonin. Four people. Gonin, five people. Rokunin, seven people. Nananin, seven people. We have called it out as an exception because there are two ways to say seven, that is Nana and Shichi. So Shichinin is also correct, Nananin is also correct. Hachinin, eight people. Kyunin, nine people. Junin, 10 people. So in this way, it will continue. So the next will be Juichi Nin and so on. Hitori, Futari, Sannin, Yonin, Gonin, Rokunin, Nananin, Hachinin, Kyunin, Junin. So let's look at some more examples. Nannin imaska means how many people are there. So can you tell the answer? Futari imasu or futari desu. Nannin imasu ka? Hitori desu or hitori imasu. One person. Now, how many persons are here and what will be the answer? Gonin imasu or gonin desu. That is five persons. Four persons, yonin desu or yonin imasu. So, nannin imasu ka? Heya ni nannin imasu ka? Kaigi shitsu ni nannin imasu ka? So like that you can practice various questions to answer in how many people. So what do you see here? So there is a dining table. It appears to be a dining hall and there are four persons, four people. That is, it's a family. So now what's the question? Shokudo ni sannin imasu ka? So now here it is not nannin, but it is directly saying sannin. That means in the dining hall, are there three people? Shokudo ni 3人 imasu ka? Are there 3 people in the dining hall? Ie. No. 3人 imasen. It's not 3. 4人 desu. It's 4. That means no, it's not 3 persons. There are 4 people in the dining hall. So, shokudo ni 3人 imasu ka? Ie. 3人 imasen. 4人 desu. Let's look at another example. So this is a photo frame where we can see 8 people. So shashin ni nanni nimasu ka? Shashin means photograph. Shashin ni nanni nimasu ka? How many people are there in the photograph? So the answer will be hachinin desu or hachinin imasu. Now this is a classroom where a teacher is teaching and there are 6 students. Kyoshitsu ni gakusei wa nannin imasu ka? Gakusei means student and kyoshitsu means classroom. So in the classroom, how many students are there? So what will be the answer? Rokunin imasu or rokunin desu. That is 6 students. Kyoshitsu ni gakusei wa nannin imasu ka? How many students are there in the classroom? Now, heya no naka ni nannin imasu ka? So the earlier question was related to students, but now the question is how many people are there inside the room? So 6 students and 1 professor or 1 teacher, that means 7. So nananin imasu or nananin desu. So next we move on to the next counter of today, which is dai. So friends, don't get confused with the other dai. This symbol, which is also read as dai and which indicates big or large something. For example, daigaku, which represents university. Gakko is school and daigaku is university. Similarly, this is a very common symbol which you will find in Japan. For example, in various products to represent the bigger size, this symbol is used and so on. So this is for big, but here the counter that also reads dai, but this is a totally different kanji. So please don't confuse with this kanji. Both of them read dai, but are totally different. So today we are bothered about the counter dai. So let's see what is that and what it is used for which type of counting it is used. This counter is used to count electrical equipment and appliances, big furniture, cars and vehicles, big machinery and the like. So that means this is all related to appliances and furniture and vehicles. So something related to machinery and the like. So now what do you see here? We see a table and a telephone is kept over it. So a telephone is an appliance or an electrical equipment. So in the last lesson we studied this. Denwa wa teburu no ue ni arimasu. That means the telephone is on the table. The telephone is on the table. Denwa wa teburu no ue ni arimasu. Now to use this counter, we can ask denwa wa nandai arimasu ka? So nandai means how many. That means how many telephones are there. So we can also ask teburu no ue ni denwa wa nandai arimasu ka? That means how many telephones are there on the table. Or we can say denwa wa teburu no ue ni nandai arimasu ka? So that is also correct. So it can be asked in several ways. So the answer will be ichidai denwa wa teburu no ue ni arimasu or just ichidai denwa desu. That means one telephone, just a telephone. So there is a telephone on the table or there is one telephone on the table. Denwa wa nandai arimasu ka? Nandai means how many and the answer will be ichidai desu. So the format of the sequence will be first the numeral, that is ichi, ni, san, followed by the counter and then the noun or the thing. So first the numeral, then the counter and then the thing, which is denwa here. Ichi dai denwa. numeral, counter, thing or noun. So two chairs are there. So how do we say that? Nidai isuwa arimasu. That is, there are two chairs. We can also say isuwa nidai arimasu. So it's the other way around, but it still gives the same meaning. There are two chairs. Now we see three television sets here. Terebi wa sandai arimasu. There are three TVs. Sandai terebi desu. So we can also use des in place of arimasu since we are not referring to any place. So des is equally valid. Sandai terebi desu. Four vehicles or four cars. Kuruma wa yondai arimasu. Or yondai kuruma desu. Or kuruma wa yondai desu. Or kuruma wa yondai arimasu. Kuruma wa yondai arimasu. Kuruma wa yondai kuruma desu. Or we can say yondai kuruma wa doro ni arimasu. Doro means road. So there are four cars on the road. Yondai kuruma wa doro ni arimasu. So these are some examples of using this dai counter. So now let's make a similar table as we did for nin. So first one is ichidai, that is one number of, nidai, two numbers of, sandai, three number of, yondai, four, godai, five, rokudai, six, nanadai, seven, hachidai, eight, kyudai, nine, and judai, 10. So 10 number of appliances or vehicles or machinery or furniture. So as you can see, there is no exceptions in this table. So it is pretty simple, isn't it? There is no exceptions there, unlike nin, where we had some exceptions like hitori, futari, yonin, and so on. So next, the third counter for today is piki and biki and also hiki. So all these three may be used for different numerals with different numerals. So let's see what is piki, biki, hiki. So this counter is used to count small animals like cats, kitten, dogs, puppies, rabbits, and so on. So that is very small sized animals are counted using this counter piki biki. So if you see here, if you look at this kanji for piki biki hiki, it resembles the numeral 4 in Japanese. Only thing is that this fourth side is not present here. So we will learn this when we do our kanji lessons in future. So for the time being, just remember that this kanji is used to represent piki biki hiki. So what do we see here? A cat is sitting inside a box. So box is hako, cat is neko. Neko wa hako no naka ni imasu. So this we have learned in the last class. The cat is inside the box or the cat is in the box. Neko wa haka no naka ni imasu. Or neko wa haka ni imasu. That is the cat is in the box. Now we can ask neko wa nanbiki imasu ka. So just like denwa wa nandai desu ka? Or neko wa, denwa wa nandai arimasu ka? In the same way, for the cat, which is an animate object, we can say neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? So just remember that depending on the type of noun or the object, we have to apply the appropriate counter. So it will not be always biki or it will not be always dai. It depends on what we are trying to count. So for cat, which is a small animal, biki will be applicable. Neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? Ippiki neko wa haka no naka ni imasu. Now ippiki means ichi piki. That is one number of cat. That is, a cat is in the box, one cat is in the box. Ippiki neko wa hako no naka ni imasu. There is just one cat. Now the table, so it is a bit complicated for sure. So there are so many exceptions in this. Ippiki, that is one number of. Nihiki, two numbers of. Sambiki, three. Yonpiki, four. Gohiki, five. Roppiki, six. Nanahiki, seven. Happiki, eight. Kyuhiki, nine. and jubbiki 10. So as you can see, it is full of exceptions. So which one is the main one and which one is the exception, it is difficult to tell. And if you look carefully, we have he, be, p. That is handakuon. The if you remember the hiragana alphabets, then you will find resemblance that although the pronunciation is different, but it's all the same family. That is gojuon and handakuon. So some of them are using hiki for 2, 5, 7 and 9. For 2, 5, 7 and 9 it is using hiki. Some biki, this is biki, it is same as sambyaku. Like for hyaku, that becomes sambyaku. So this is especially the case for 3. For yon we have piki. This is the only entry where we have piki, and rest all are conjugated words where we use ippiki, roppiki, happiki. So in this way, and ju, the 10th one becomes jubbiki. So just like sambiki, it is jubbiki. So this is little confusing. So you have to memorize this so that you don't make mistakes. So the thing with counters is that there is no way or there is no generic rule. You just need to remember which counter is used for which type of things. So now finally, let's try to answer some questions. So what do you see here? You see a number of cats, a large number of cats and a table. So neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? That means how many cats are there? Neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? That means how many cats are there? So friends, we have used kanjis for cat. So cat and biki. So we have not done these kanjis yet in our course. So this is just for the representational purposes. You can just refer to the Romaji, and also if you want to write, you can write in hiragana. So that's fine. Neko wa juippiki imasu. Juippiki means 11. There are 11 cats if you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 cats. Neko wa juippiki imasu. Ippiki is 1, ju is 10. So juippiki is 11. Teburu no ue ni neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? So the first question was how many cats are there in total? And the next question is how many cats are there? How many cats are there on the table? Teburu no ue, means on the table. U teburu no ue ni neko wa nanbiki imasu ka? Or you can say neko wa teburu no ue ni nanbiki imasu ka? Answer is sambiki imasu. There are 3 cats, sambiki. Neko wa teburu no shita ni nanbiki imasu ka? So now this is another way of asking the question. So in this first one, teburu no ue was used first. Here neko is used first. So the subject is used first. So teburu no ue, this is the topic, and neko is the subject. So next is neko wa teburu no shita ni nanbiki imasu ka? That means how many cats are there under the table. So under the table is 1 cat. So neko wa ippiki imasu, or simply ippiki desu. And 2 more situations we have. So 2 cats are sitting behind and 5 cats are sitting in front. So teburu no mae ni neko wa 5 hiki imasu. So here it is written as imaska. So the answer will be hai. So desu. Hai. 5 hiki imasu, or 5 hiki desu. So this is another way of asking the question that you are already asking with the answer. So just for confirmation. So the next one is teburu no ushiro ni, that is behind the table. Teburu no ushiro ni neko wa 2 hiki imasu ka? So again the answer is yes. Hai. So desu. 2 hiki imasu, or 2 hiki desu. So friends, that's it for today. We learned 3 counters, nin, dai and piki, to count the number of persons, to count the number of electrical appliances or furniture or vehicles or machinery, and another counter, the third one, piki, biki, hiki, which is used to count the number of small sized animals. So hope this lesson has been useful to you. We shall bring a new lesson very soon. Till then, keep watching the videos of this channel, not only in this playlist called Japanese for Beginners, but also the other playlists where we are posting from time to time various interesting topics. So do watch all the videos of this channel, and thank you so much for being with us. So, arigato gozaimasu. Mata imashou.